couple of slides here, and we will look at some of the ways to form cooperatives, the current farmer situation analysis, importance and benefit of cooperative organizations, importance and benefits of cooperative organization, others, because there are other opportunities also. And then I will be presenting a bit on the benefits and successes of cooperative organizations. And then lastly, the immediate support that we facilitate to cooperatives in Belize. Okay. If you look at cooperatives in general, it normally comes out, or the reason why they exist is because they come from an idea. And that idea normally comes from a need, right? There are two ways that people, why people form cooperatives. One, it is initiated by them, the participants, and then there are others that extension people or other facilitators bring to them the concept. They bring the concept to them. What has happened over years, though, is that those projects, those concepts that burn from the individual members, they are successful. And those that are transferred, are normally not that successful. Because the whole program is geared towards agriculture, I am presenting the current situation analysis that farmers look at and are living in the farms. Now, these factors are the following. I think we heard it from DFC earlier. Farmers lack or are limited to accessing capital or credit facilities in the majority of cases to do any project. The second one is marketing. Marketing in its entirety, right? We look at the areas of fluctuating commodity prices, perishable products, the variable product quality, including issues in the marketing mix, including the entire marketing mix. Normally, the pre and the post-harvest technologies. Another factor that farmers currently look at is the issue of infrastructure. If they don't have the capital to invest in their farms and they cannot access credit facilities, it's difficult for them to bring in irrigation equipment, much less equipment for whatever they're engaged into. And so that becomes a challenge. Now, training and capacity building. Training and capacity building is limited, or in cases, it's non-existent to these individuals. Intensive labor requirements, intensive labor costs, especially in some of the areas. For example, when you look at areas up north, nobody wants to go to the fields and earn $25 a day anymore, or $30 a day. They just don't want to do it anymore. And normally when you hire them for a specific period of time, then they want to leave, then they want to deal with labor department on other labor issues. And one that we cannot forget today is the issues with climatic conditions. It's not like before. In the past, my grandfather used to say, when you hear the crickets, he say, you know it will rain. Today the crickets bawl and no rain. Right? They used to say when the Mayflower starts to come out, he said, you know rain is coming. Sure, not today. So it is really a challenge for these farmers now. So what happens? When people are disorganized, when they're on their own, they have some serious challenges. And gentlemen, look at some of the challenges that these guys have. They have competition. Inter-competition and international competition. Competition among themselves. That is one of the biggest challenges that they have. There's no or limited bargaining power. You're on your own. What can you tell the Ministry of Agriculture? Nothing. What can you tell the police to do for you? Even if you are seeing somebody contrabanding or bringing illegal commodities from across the river, you can't say nothing. You're on your own. Limited access to updated information. Again, you're on your own. Outdated and crude farm methods. You keep on doing the same thing that your grandfather taught you 20 years ago. Remember, climatic conditions have forced some farmers to change, us to change completely. And even as we speak, the agricultural best practices is now another issue on its own. Then again, there's no regulation, there's no oversight. Nobody comes and tells you, boss, let me see your accounts, or can I assist you in developing a business plan, or can I give you some marketing strategies that can work, or can function within your society? No, there's none, right? And then there's limited technical assistance from GOB or any other developing agency. Nobody knows who you are. You are way down south, they don't know who you are. Right? And so then, what that does is that if you are a farmer, then when you come out to the market, you make sure you wake up 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock, and then you come to the market to try to get the best price that day. Right? And so what the farmer end up doing? They give away their produce. And they go back with whatever they earned that day. Right? What we are saying now is that if you are organized, then there are more opportunities than challenges. And some of those opportunities, we can safely say that there is stronger cooperation. There is better trust among yourselves. Because it is initiatives, it is your own initiative. It's your own brother, it's your own sister that is among yourself. There is participatory governance. What we normally say that participatory governance is integrating the modern business principles into the traditional ones. And so then, that strengthens your business. We have also local leadership from among the pool of people that comes together and form cooperatives or form farmers organizations. You elect your own leaders. And who best than them? You elect them. You have access to lower inputs. Why? The cost of inputs when you bulk purchase is cheaper. And what that does, it improves your efficiencies in the workplace, and it also cuts down your cost of production. Right? So very important for people to know and understand that particular issue. If you reduce your cost of production and you become much more efficient, then you can be much more competitive out there. The other thing that I like to mention here is the fact that when people are organized, what they can access, the benefit in improved technologies, is the fact that you go direct to the field and you can get pre and post harvest technologies, training on those. Very important. Right? You don't have to go to any university to do any master's program to be a good producer and a good marketer. So we in the department also facilitate some of these as they exist. This also assists people who are organized to improve their quality standards as an organized body, right? Then you know exactly what markets you have, what is it that your markets want, and that is what you produce, that is what you facilitate to them. There's another one that we have there, reduce marketing and selling costs, and even, guys, the cost of financing. When you receive it from, let's say for example, DFC, the cost might be cheaper. Right? As an individual, it's difficult to access it. As a cooperative, it is easier to access it. Right? You reduce the amount of, how I call it, by, not only the fees, but the time. Right? So that also is a benefit for the farmers. Gentlemen, by being and pulling together, you also create economies of scale. Right? You producing tomatoes, your other brothers and sisters producing tomatoes, you come together. You work on an integrated system, improve your quality, and you can even tap into international markets. Then you supply international markets. But we are not doing it now because we are only working on our own. We are not organized. And that is an opportunity that exists for the people who are organized. There are other opportunities that exist for farmers also, for those who are organized. And that is, for example, access to grant capital. Right? I know that the good brother never mentioned it because he might not want to encourage that kind of financing, but it exists. When the European Union says, brother, give this out at 8%, right? But you can also give them a small grant on the side, right? And that works. And that is an opportunity that exists if you are organized. If you're on your own, the chances are zero. Now, there are more available markets when you're organized. People have a tendency to negotiate with people who are organized rather than they disorganized. Remember what the facilitator said earlier? They won't give you a loan if they don't know who will pay in the event you cannot afford to pay them. They need a co-maker, right? Now, in this case now, it's a group of people, so they have more trust in that negotiation process. Another opportunity that exists there is the access to seed and development capital. The good brother said earlier, he said, we don't know you, we have to build a file for you guys. Right? If you're organized, this is what facilitates and fast tracks the process. Right? So you get into the production period on time. Right? The other opportunity that exists is that there is room for expanded production. So long as you're organized, you calendarize your programs. You calendarize your production programs. Then you know exactly which markets you can supply. You know exactly what your consumers need in specific periods of time, during the course of a year or years. Right? Other opportunities that exist there is the guidance and capacities to develop business plans and other business development strategies. Cooperative department does that a lot. Beltrade does that. SEBDC does that. DFC asks for it. If you don't have a plan, you can't access financing. You can't access financing, you can't buy irrigation equipment, you can't plant. So, being organized has a competitive advantage of being disorganized. Now, at Cooperative Department, there's something new that we are doing. We're offering that mentorship program. We sit down with you, we look at your business, we do subsidized audits, as a matter of fact. Much an audit would cost, Mr. DFC guy? About 20,000, or depends the total income that your business brings, right? Some people are paying up to $50,000, $60,000 for an audit. Coop department does that at a subsidized rate. Subsidized, free of charge, right? And then we sit down with you and then we go over what your business, or how your business is performing and how your business can perform even better, right? So that is one of those things that we believe is assisting our cooperatives. Opportunities to create dialogue between the cooperative sector and government in terms of policy development. The good thing about being organized is that, for example, on a panel like this, right, you can bring up your ideas. We take it up to the Ministry of Agriculture via the minister, and eventually goes to cabinet. becomes policy. But you got to be organized. If you're disorganized, you don't have any say, no voice. Right? So these are some of the other opportunities that exist for those who are organized. Let me highlight on the following though. The first thing is that why would people want to form a cooperative when there's an array of other opportunities out there? Associations, unions, how you call them, by corporations, sole proprietorship, you have companies, etc., etc. Right? Why co-ops? Well, at Cooperative Department, we have a standard definition there, and it is defined by the International Cooperative Alliance as the following. A cooperative is an autonomous association of people united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs through a jointly owned, and I will highlight the rest, a democratically controlled enterprise. Democratically controlled enterprise. It is the people, the members, that run their business. It's not Garrett Murillo, it's not Hugo Miranda. We are only advisors in there, in the entire process. Right? And remember that earlier I said that some of the opportunities that exist, you will see in my following slide. What we as cooperatives department do to assist these organized people. There are other definitions. There's another definition that is widely accepted, and it says that a cooperative is a user-owned, user-controlled business that distributes benefits on the basis of its use. This definition captures what are generally considered the three primary cooperative principles: user ownership, user control, and proportional distribution of benefits. Audience, in a cooperative, as compared to any other business, the businesses are there to make a profit. In a co-op, you are there to facilitate a service and benefits your own. When there are surpluses, listen to the difference now. When there are surpluses, then it is distributed in proportion to your investment in the society. And that is what makes it unique. And let me mention one of those examples. For example, Holy Redeemer Credit Union. They pay 8%, the maximum on their dividends on their shares. They pay 10% rebates, and they pay 10% patronage refund. Who is a quick mathematician? 8, 10, and 10. 28%. You tell me which bank in Belize pays 28% on your savings? None, right? That's why we are saying cooperatives are the way to go. Hold on though. What made co-ops to be successful? I think it's the fundamental values of cooperatives that have made cooperatives successful. And they are the following: self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. These are the fundamental values in co-ops: self-help, self-responsibility, equity, equality, self-responsibility, solidarity. Right? But let us look at the principles though. In a cooperative, the principle there, the number one principle is that it is open and it is voluntary. Nobody ties a chain around your neck and brings you to be a part of a cooperative. Nobody. You do that on your own if you want. Right? You do that on your own if you want. The second principle is that it is democratically controlled. Right? You the members elect your management committee, and you the members pay your administration. At the ending of the day, the benefits and the services, it's yours. It stays within the society. right? The third principle is economic participation from the members. Economic participation meaning that whatever you invest in the society, that is what you harvest at the end of the day. If there are surpluses, then you get in proportion to your investment. Right? The fourth principle there is that it is autonomous and it is independent. You do your own decisions. We only advise. We might come and say, listen, you're going wrong. If you can straighten this way, it will be better for your company, for your cooperative. Right? But we cannot say you are obliged to make that decision. Right? Take it or leave it. The other two principles are information, education, and technology. At one time, remember I said one of the challenges if you are disorganized is the issue of outdated information. Cooperatives facilitate that to their members. And if you need to train them, you need to educate them, you can go through. You can do it in an informal or formal fashion. And the other principle is cooperation among cooperators. Cooperation among cooperators. You have resources, I don't. Lend me your resource. I have the brain, I lend it to you. Right? And that is how cooperatives have been successful over years. Right? In the private world, I pay for your brain or you pay for my resources. You go to DFC and you pay 24% interest, right, boss? And the last one is the one that we call under the cooperative system is the concern for community. You can contrast that to what modern business principle says on social responsibility. Right? We cannot just harvest for the community. We have to give back. Right? And there are several forms to give back to community. The other part of what makes cooperatives a success is the structure of it, the governance part of it. They are, the maximum and supreme authority lies on the membership. The membership elects 7 people as their management committee. The management committee implements what the general membership requests them to do. Never the management committee being the boss. Or in the event of having hired management, they saying that they are the boss. No, the supreme authority lies in the membership, the owners of the cooperative. And in Belize, what assists in making cooperatives successful is the fact that we have a cooperative legislation, Chapter 313 of the Laws of Belize. And it is followed by a subsidiary act, which in general terms, we call the regulations, the rules, I mean. Right? And then that is followed as other supporting document to your cooperative enterprise with the bylaws. The bylaws, and now we have another stuff that we try to ask all societies to produce is the internal policies, the day-to-day policies that guide the operation of the society. And those are 4 pieces of legislation that strengthen cooperative societies in Belize. I have 2 bullets there that we want to highlight. Cooperative advantage versus other organizations. Cooperatives invest time and money in supporting the democratic process, educating their members about key issues, holding meetings and responding to member concerns. Now, participating in the decision-making of the society, meeting regularly, strengthens the trust, the ties, transparency, and accountability in the society. Right? Now, what happens there now is that in other organizations, if they don't meet, nobody gives a damn about it. At Cooperative Department, we ensure that that happens. You know why? Because the resources that you invest in your society belongs to somebody, nobody else. So we as the regulators ensure that that resource that you invest is safe at all times. Cooperatives, as compared to other business models, can overcome difficulties accessing capital because they accumulate assets, right? They accumulate assets create jobs, and are direct contributors to GDP. Right? And of course, the whole process is democratic. One person, one vote. Right? At least you can sit there, you can stand up behind like Maculada Credit Union. You can stand up behind Valley of Peace Cooperative and say, listen, the fence, one post belongs to me. But you try to do that with Belize Bank. You think you could? No. It belongs to the investor only, right? Now, other comparative advantages are that cooperative department, as the regulator, ensures that cooperative societies build identity. And in building identity, we mean creating brands for the societies and assisting in developing other issues that are part of the marketing mix. Like, for example, promotion, advertisement, development of business plans, development of budget and or other proposals or other strategic development papers that will strengthen the organization as such. Cooperatives are only as good as their members make them to be. When members stop investing in the society, then cooperatives reduce the benefits to their members. So it is important, and we as regulators also ensure that that is maintained so that each and every member can still have that opportunity at all times. Members are fully in charge of the day-to-day management. This action strengthens trust, accountability, transparency, member commitment, and loyalty to the cooperative enterprise. And more importantly, gentlemen, is that this trust is what builds that society. Right? In other organizations, they don't give a damn about it. Right? There's a comparative matrix there, and I'll go fast over it. And I'll contrast the private and the other type of organizations versus the cooperative one. For example, money, right? The money in the private sector. That is owned by the investors. In the cooperative society, it is owned by the members of the cooperative. The objective of the private companies is making a profit. The objective of the cooperative is creating services and benefits for its members. In a private enterprise, it is called profits. In the cooperative society, it is called surpluses. The profits benefit the owners of those resources invested. In a cooperative, it creates benefits, and those benefits are destined only for its members. Right? The principal objective in a private companies or corporations is that they are there for more profits. In a cooperative, they are there for more shared benefits. Right? The workers in a private company, they have no say. In a cooperative society, they are the decision makers. Right? The number of investors in a company is limited. The number of members in a cooperative is open. Anybody can become a member of a cooperative. Now, each and every society in their policies, in their internal policies or bylaws, can limit membership. Although it is an open principle, but it can still be limited because we don't want to discriminate. Right? No. And then we have there that the administration done by hired personnel in a private company. We said it already, in a cooperative it is done by the members. The opportunity for the members to manage their own resource, if it is not there, they are trained to do so. And that is part of the responsibility that cooperative department does. The majority of the private businesses that get together or that organize, they organize because of competition. Right? In a co-op, they are organized because of the mutual benefits that exist and that is created for themselves. And the last thing in the matrix there is that in the private companies, in the private organizations, the profits is distributed among the investors only. Right? In a cooperative, it is distributed among the members based on the investment that that individual has in the society. And like what I mentioned earlier, in the form of dividends, patronage refunds, or rebates. Right? Today is just a presentation for you guys, but Cooperative Department has developed a manual that is comprised of, if I'm not mistaken, 9 or 10 modules that is specifically geared for people that are forming cooperatives. And you can always request that through the department. Right? We were a little behind time. Yeah. And I have to run now, right? Yeah. To try catch up. But in concluding, that will be news to you. In concluding, if you want to be incrementally better, it says be competitive. But if you want to be exponentially better, it says be cooperative. And that is basically what we have as Cooperative Department. Right? Now, questions? I know some of you are waiting for the presentation on turmeric.
That's because I got food, man.
I said, let's go to food. Excuse me?
No, turmeric and vanilla.
Oh, turmeric and vanilla. Oh, that's why. Okay, she was telling me about it. No questions? No questions? So there's no response then? So then this will be easy. So thank you very much, people, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me the opportunity to facilitate this program. I look forward to hear from you all in the future, no? Either through Cooperative Department or myself again. Thanks very much.